Hey there guys, what's up? Ragtter here with another random replay. I was just messing around on Pokemon Showdown, trying to experiment with some new overlay stuff, and I ended up having a really fun battle. What's interesting about this battle is that the new Megas from Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire have been implemented, which was something that I wasn't prepared for. I haven't really played on Pokemon Showdown the last couple of weeks. So, actually just been a week. When I came on and found this, it really threw me for a loop, and I was really unprepared for the battle, and I ended up having a really good match, actually. I wanted to show it off, so let's get right into it. So, I get dealt with an Azumarill first, and he brings out Simipour. Simipour shows that it has the Grass Knot immediately, and Azumarill goes ahead and knocks off its leftovers. That puts me at a pretty decent advantage. I can switch into Leavanny now, without really worrying about too much. I know that it's not carrying anything that would boost its attack stat, so Leavanny could come in on an Ice Beam, for instance. So Leavanny comes in and starts setting up a Swords Dance, as Simipour giggities out of there and goes into Shuckle. I decide to Baton Pass into Azumarill, and Azumarill ends up getting Toxiced, which is really unfortunate. Azumarill could have done a lot more in this battle, but this Toxic just inhibits it too much, and really weakens its staying power. I decide to go for the knockoff again, because it's a safe move. I've got a Swords Dance boost if Simipour gets brought back in, and anything else I can just knock off the item for. Sure enough, Simipour is brought in, goes down to the Play Rough after getting off a Grass Knot, and my Azumarill is basically dead at this point. I have resolved myself to it. Now the Lopunny comes in, and as you can see there's no model for this Lopunny, and I'm really unprepared for the fact that it uses Power-Up Punch, and then becomes a very legitimate threat. I'm not used to Lopunny being good. Whimsicott is brought out as I bring in my Slowbro, and goes for the Encore, locking me into Trick Room. This forces me to use Trick Room again, which gets rid of it, and I just decide to set it up one more time, just so we can get off scot-free. I switch out, and I go into Camerupt. Now I'm actually kind of lucky enough to have gotten the Mega for this Camerupt, and having Mega Camerupt be pretty decent. Now, unfortunately, Mega Camerupt does not have a model in Pokemon Showdown currently, so you're just going to have to use your imagination. Imagine a giant magic camel shooting steel lightning out of its mouth, and hitting a bug that sits in a rock. I'm able to do a significant amount of damage to the Shuckle, as my Trick Room goes ahead and takes off, as Shuckle tries to Toxic me, but I stay in. You know, Shuckle had obviously been expecting the switch, and I just didn't give him that, but he does end up encoring me into Rock Polish, so I'm forced to sit here and take infestation damage while also being forced to Rock Polish again and again and again. But as Shuckle switches out, I am freed from my infestation, and I'm able to switch out into Leavanny. Leavanny, having the Poison Jab, will do ridiculous amounts of damage to the Whimsicott if it would just stay in. But it has no such intentions, goes into Shuckle, and Shuckle ends up taking the poison. This is very good on my part. It means Shuckle cannot use its great defenses to its advantage, and I'm able to switch out into the Camerupt with no model. Camerupt ends up getting infested again, but this time Camerupt is prepared. And you'll see Shuckle goes for the Encore again, but being twice as fast as Camerupt is, Camerupt says no, and Fire Blasts Shuckle in the face. This puts me up 2-1. I'm only down my Azumarill, but Camerupt is not looking very good right here. Meloetta's brought in, and I decide to bring in Leavanny. And seeing that Leavanny can easily take 3 of these Psychics, and maybe take Meloetta out with it, I decide to go for the safe X-Scissor. But Lopunny's brought in, and Lopunny resists the X-Scissor. Still takes a decent amount of damage though, so I might be able to work with that later if we're lucky. I decide to bring in Slowbro, because Slowbro is probably my best answer to the Lopunny at this point. I am, however, completely taken by surprise by what the Lopunny packs up its sleeve. The Return does a devastating amount to my Slowbro. I was completely unaware of how powerful this Lopunny would become. That's a Slowbro that I just punched in the face. I'm forced to switch out to Camerupt, and Mega Camerupt, blessedly, is taken out of the battle by the Return. I then reveal my Xerneas, which I had been hoping to save to the end of the battle. Xerneas ends up taking way too much damage to be useful again from the Lopunny, though Xerneas does make its mark by taking out the Lopunny in one hit. Moonblast for the win. Lopunny gaining the Fighting type secondary type out of its Mega Evolution, which made Moonblast super effective against it. I bring Lopunny in to take the Psychics off of Meloetta, but the Sticky Web ends up stopping me before I can do anything significant with it. Now Rampardos is brought in, and this is my last revealed Pokemon. He still hasn't revealed his last one yet. I use the Crunch on Whimsicott, and it does a great deal for a resisted attack, so that tells me that Rampardos can be a very significant player in the later game. I bring in Slowbro, who takes the Leech Seed. I'm very unwilling to let Whimsicott, if it possesses an attacking move, get anything off on Rampardos. Slowbro takes the Paralysis like a champ, and fires off a nice Ice Beam in the process. I am, however, getting to the point where I can't let him have this advantage. Having Leech Seed, having this Sticky Web up, being able to paralyze me, I do need to end the game, and I need to end it quickly. So I bring in Rampardos. I figure if I'm going to lose, I might as well go all out and try and do as much damage as I can. There's really not much tactically left for me. My Xerneas is too weak. My Slowbro is paralyzed, and Rampardos says, "Who needs tactics? Let's throw rocks." And Whimsicott taken completely out of the battle. Now Meloetta comes in and it goes for the Psychic. This should have been a kill, but Rampardos hangs on by a thread and retaliates with a mighty crunch. Meloetta is taken out of the fight, and my opponent leaves and hands me the victory in what I was pretty sure was going to be a fairly flopping defeat for me because of that Whimsicott. That was really cool, and Rampardos really came through for me in the end. Just what a champion. Just came in, said YOLO, went and punched and bit and threw rocks at everyone's faces. It was amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and maybe once the models will get sorted out, I'll bring you some new Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Mega action, but we'll have to see. Who knows how these Megas will fare in an actual competitive environment. I'm very intrigued. Very intrigued indeed. Until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed, have a safe day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!